Good morning to you. Could you give an introduction about yourself?
Hi, I go by Crazy Eyes. Uh, I've been in the real world since end of December, I think, ever since it opened, almost. I do music marketing. I'm also a captain in the AI campus, CC plus AI.
Mhm.
That's basically it.
Okay, so why do you go by Crazy Eyes? Is that something you'd be comfortable revealing to public?
Oh man, it's because I have very, very poor eyesight, extremely poor eyesight. I have a condition called keratoconus. It's where my corneas come to a cone and not the gradual curve that most people have.
Yeah, damn. When I hear stuff like that, I feel it in my body as well. It's like my eyesight
Yeah,
feeling weird.
yeah,
Okay,
it's all good
do
though.
you? How well do you see me then? Am I blurry to you?
Oh yeah, blurry, multiple. Oh yeah, I see
Wow,
floaters basically everywhere. Yeah, it
damn.
sucks, but it's all good. I don't let it stop me.
So you mentioned music marketing and
Yeah.
AI campus as well, captain in AI campus. So how do you actually get through that considering you're legally blind?
Well, usually I have my face very close to my monitor, which my monitor is pretty big, but I squint really hard. That's what allows me to basically see pretty much.
So clearly this is a lot of a more tougher challenge for you to do than for other people. So considering you're still making money from it, clearly you're not letting it be an excuse to you. You're not being a
No,
victim to
never,
it.
never. For me, it's I'm more on the strategy side than anything. So it's sure I do some like clip things up because I do social media management as well, like a little bit. So I do clip things up, but primarily, it's more about strategy, running ads, stuff like that.
Explain what the music marketing is about. How did you learn it? Did you have prior experience before you joined, or was it something you learned from the real world?
It's something I learned from the real world. Basically, well, not the music side of things, but marketing in general. It's something that I learned from the copywriting campus. They obviously they teach you copywriting, but building funnels, coming up with different types of campaigns, stuff like that. Just everything you would do when you're a copywriter. It's all about marketing anyway. So that's primarily where I learned a lot of it. When it comes to specifics with music, it's I just watched a couple YouTube like videos and I went on my way.
So actually learned music from YouTube is what you're saying?
Well, I learned the specific marketing principles for music through
Ah,
YouTube. Yeah, yeah. But when it comes to marketing in general, I learned it from the copywriting campus because we
been
have a
niching
G.
down when you niched into music, more specialized, then you looked into YouTube before it.
Well, actually, one of my clients is a friend of mine.
Mhm.
So they're a medium sized, like medium famous band. Like they're very well known in their genre by other bands within the genre.
Mhm.
That makes sense. They're not like world renowned, but they had a ton of fans within their genre. So yeah, uh, I was telling my friend, which is the lead singer, which basically does everything for the band. Uh, I was telling him just stuff I was doing. Just we were chatting. Nothing big. I wasn't pitching him anything. He was just like, "Huh, you want to run some ads for me?" I was just like, I'll do it. He was just like, I just don't have anybody to run it for me. Like I
Mhm.
do, but it's just, it's not often. And then I was just like, I could manage your this, and I just told him a bunch of stuff that I could do for him on top of it. And then from there, I was just showing him some other stuff that I was doing, like
Mhm.
some of the AI art that I was doing. He was just like, you want to make some merch for me? Next thing you know, I started making, merch designs and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I have about 5 shirts now, and one show like flyer. So that's what I've done for him on the AI side, and we're going to be doing more when it comes to
Mhm.
that too. But you know, basically all the stuff that I do for him, I was just showing him things that I've done already, and he was just like, "Let's do it." So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's cool that you're learning the skills, and then they just ended up randomly coming in useful because your friend
yeah,
needed them, and
yeah,
you were able to provide so much benefit to his
yeah.
business.
I do.
Okay.
I do a lot. There's a lot of stuff that I do, but it's if it's all about developing skills and practicing and uh, providing more within my service so I could do it for other people.
Mhm.
Trying to be a one of one
Mhm.
or a one of one service, basically.
Right, right, right. Okay. And how much have you made then monetarily from the skills you learned from the real world?
Well, basically, I'd say around $8,000 so far. Not anything special. I know there's people out there that have gotten wins. First week they've been in here and they got an $8,000 to $9,000 win. But hey, I'll get there. It's
Mhm.
fine. I'm playing the long game, man.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of the long game, where do you see the scaling for you in the short term, medium term, and long term?
Well, ever since I sort of branched over into the more of the AI stuff, I, I had I had to reconfigure what my goals are, basically, because when I just did the copywriting stuff and the marketing, like I had set goals, but now I I still have most of those goals primarily, but with the AI, it's still in its infancy, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to scale with that because I really want to get into it.
Mhm.
So I would say the way I'd scale is to provide the same type of service that I normally would, ad. I would run ads, social media management, come up with strategies, uh, like marketing strategies, unique marketing strategies. Uh, because with music, there's more than just like one thing that you have to do. You have to come up with strategies for a new release. You have to be, you want to be unique with it. Uh, there's there's promotion. There's just a plethora of different things that you have to do. So I'm going to still provide that service, but I basically need to figure out how to integrate AI into not necessarily everything that I do, but a lot of the stuff that I do because I enjoy doing it.
Mhm. Okay. So since we're mentioning integrating AI and you've done copywriting, how far along do you think ChatGPT is to doing a good job in terms of copywriting? Is it something you use? Do you implement it? Do you fully just like rely on it? Do you just partly use it? What's the situation with you?
So when it comes to copywriting, I primarily use ChatGPT to check if my syntax is on and if my grammar is correct,
Mhm.
or give me little tips here and there. When I write something out, I'll I'll write it out completely by myself first, because I just know more about copywriting than a freaking AI. So I'll do that, and then I'll go ask it those 3 questions. Give me a tip on how I can make it better. 99% of the time, what it says sucks, but there's that 1% of the time where it gives me like a good tip. Syntax, I want to make sure that my syntax is on, and I want to make sure that my grammar is on, especially with my eyesight, because sometimes I allow my spelling and stuff to slip. So
that's fair enough. Yeah. But again, if you're not making excuses, it's gonna be hard for the viewer seeing this to then start making excuses their own, because you're pushing through quite a bit comparatively.
Well,
that's awesome to hear.
Yeah. What am I going to do? Be a blind loser? Like live off the government or something? No, man. I can't do that.
Okay, what would you say was the biggest challenge you faced when implementing the lessons you were learning from the real world?
I would have to think about that, actually. I never really view things as challenges. Like, I just, when I write a task down, because I have my schedule, I have my little task list. Once I do it, I never really think about challenges. There's things that have taken me a long time, but anything that I usually put my mind to, I try to do it. I think the hardest thing for me was making videos with AI. But other than that, when it came to copywriting, it took me about a week to figure out how to properly do outreach. Like I sucked at it really bad. Then I was like, there has to be a better way. Like, there has to be a better way to do outreach than, canned compliment. Then I did the same thing that everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
But like the but or I gotta say, like the second line is always that. So I ended up just brainstorming, trying to figure out unique ways to do outreach, and I actually made some trainings that I give out every once in a while in when it comes to outreach. And I think my number of helping other people get into experience. Are you familiar with the experienced?
Yeah.
Like what experienced is in copywriting? Okay, I think I've gotten probably like 8 other people to get into experience, just helping them through it. And just like, I don't give them, a framework. I give them principles to work with, because a lot of these people, they'll just do the same can thing, the can framework, where, like I said, it's compliment, but I gotta say, or and then just give some general thing that just sounds like a late 90s Viagra commercial. It's just like, it just sucks. So, usually I help them with that, but I'm going off on a tangent right now.
Okay.
But really, it's not really, I don't really look at things as challenges like that. I don't think anything's been challenging for me right now when it comes to implementing anything. I don't even think about it. I just put it on the task list and I do it, basically. Yeah.
That's a good mindset to have. Because a lot of people might project into the future, think, man, I have so much to do. That could be one way of it. Like, they look at their task list and they're thinking, man, that's going to be so much to do. Whereas you're like, okay, do this, tick, do this, tick. So in a way, it's definitely advantageous to have that kind of mindset.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I get frustrated, but it's things need to get done, and I need to do them, so I do.
So, and how different is your average day now compared to before you joined the real world?
Man, there's a long history. I'm pretty old, so how far back you want to go?
Depends how relevant it is.
Okay, so well, say before 2020, I ran a successful hot dog stand franchise that was placed on Home Depots, and then during the pandemic, they did away with them.
Pandemic.
And
Yep.
yeah, then I tried to get it back up and running for about a year and a half, and I didn't. I wasn't able to. I ended up getting stabbed in the back, actually.
Wait, you tried to give away what?
Partner. No, I tried to get them back up and running, and I had
back up and running, and then you got stabbed.
Yeah.
Oh, but metaphorically stabbed in the back.
Metaphorically, yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I should have been more clear on that. But no, I got basically stabbed in the back by a business partner.
Damn.
And yeah, unfortunately. And then I got a wagey job, and I was pretty, I wouldn't say depressed, but I was just like in a malaise. Like I just didn't really care about much. And I ended up just working this dead end job. And then once I got to the real world, I completely quit my job. Like within 2 weeks, I completed my job. And I was just like, most people recommend not quitting your job and just doing this on the side. But I was like, I either succeed or I fall flat on my face. And that's just basically how it went. Like I'd run to work because work is like 3 miles away. So I'd run to work, run back home. I'd get back home, take a nap, work out afterwards because I have my own little home gym, work out, then spend nights just scrolling the internet like a loser.
Mm-hmm.
But that's basically what my day was. And then I got into here. I was still, I think the first month and a half, I still didn't have any structure. I still didn't make a task list or anything like that. But we have a captain. I'm not going to say his name. But we have a captain that made this challenge. It was this like war mode challenge or something along those lines. And I think it was a 3 week or a month, like a 28 days to your first client challenge. Sorry about that. I don't know if you could hear that or not. But it was a 28-day challenge, and basically he gave us a little task list or whatever. And within it, I wrote maybe 5 tasks down, try to complete those tasks. And then he gave us one. He was like, had like 20 tasks. He was just like, fill out all 20 and try to hit every single one. And ever since, I've hit every single task, basically 20 tasks a day, sometimes even more. Mm-hmm. So, and that basically doing that, having that structure to where I have this thing where I just don't go to sleep until I get the task list done. And it sucks when it's 12 at night and you're still doing stuff because you didn't finish what you had written down. It basically puts a fire under you, making you want to get those things done. So they get done. That's basically it.
Interesting. So how long has it been since that 28-day challenge?
Man, I think in March.
So, and ever since then, you're saying you've been doing the 20 tasks every single day.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sometimes, like recently, say within the last month or 3 weeks, I'd say there's sometimes where I didn't because I had to pivot because something got put on my desk or whatever.
Yep.
But other than that, they always get done. If there's something that's super important that gets put in front of me, then I'll do that. But other than that, I get everything done.
Yeah, fair enough. And now on a separate note, has Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate, either of the Tates, had any kind of impact on you?
This might come off a little bad, but I don't really follow them like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Like I seen some of their stuff sometimes, and I just agreed with them. Like I agreed with the stuff that they were saying, and I was just like, "That's cool." And then I seen the advertisements of the real world, and I was just like, that sounds like right up my alley. Let's check it out. So I checked it out, and I was just like, this is it. Like I knew from the start, especially after I got to the copywriting campus. Like, and after I got on the copywriting campus, I was just like, this is actually how you teach, because I've been a lifting coach for over a decade now, and like that's just some stuff I do on the side. But within those 10 years, I had to refine my technique of teaching and condensing how I explain things to people. And usually professors, or if you go online and look something up on YouTube, there's a lot of fluff. There's just a lot of stuff that just fills time that doesn't really need to be there. But in the real world, you go to a lesson, it's like 2.5, 3 minutes long, and there's no fluff. They just, here's the information, like nothing else, no entertainment factor, just here. Then you go to the next lesson. It's no BS. So
Okay. So I think we can wrap up with this then. For people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam for the $50, what advice would you have to them?
I would say just $50, man. Like just do it. Like it's $50. Like I said, I would say go to YouTube and try to learn what you're learning in these campuses. Maybe you'll get one video that gives you good information, but it's probably 14 minutes long, and 12 minutes of it was meaningless. And then you go into the real world and you get a 2-minute long video that gives the same impact, and that's lesson after lesson after lesson, without having to search through all the BS. You get a course that is, let's say 20 videos long, and you're getting 20 high impact lessons without having to search. Like if you were to search on YouTube or any other platform for 20 really good lessons, for one, you're probably looking at videos 10 minutes or longer, and two, you're going to have to waste a lot of time. So that's why I said come into the real world, watch these lessons.
So thank you for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all my questions for you, Mr. Crazy Eyes. Interesting name that you decided to name. Fair enough.
That's one of my many nicknames that my friends have given me. Yeah.
So I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on for the interview. And I wish you all the best. We'll likely do a follow-up at some point in the future just to check in with you, see how you're progressing,
All right.
and hold you accountable to see if you're still doing your task list.
Oh, I will, man. I will be.
Cool.
No joke. All right. Thanks, brother.
So yeah, all the best to you.
Peace.